Ubisoft wants you to become more comfortable with not owning your games. Ubisoft envisions a consumer shift happening in gaming, similar to how streaming changed how people listen to music and watch movies. Ubisoft has described its vision for the future of its rebranded subscription service, Ubisoft Plus, and how it expects to grow if it can convince consumers to change their mindset toward playing video games. Like movies and music available on streaming services, Ubisoft wants its subscribers to become more comfortable with not owning their games outright. In an interview with GamesIndustry.biz, director of subscriptions Ubisoft Philip Tremblay explained that getting users to become more comfortable with not owning games was just one of the business paths Ubisoft was pursuing, in addition to more traditional models of ownership. The point is not to force users to go down one route or another, Tremblay said. We offer purchase, we offer subscription, and it's the gamer's preference that is important here. We are seeing some people who's choosing to subscribe now, but it all works. One of the things we saw is that gamers are used to a little bit like DVD, having and owning their games. That's the consumer shift that needs to happen. They got comfortable not owning their CD collection or DVD collection. That's a transformation that's been a bit slower to happen in games. Tremblay added that one of the side benefits to this approach is that players will never lose progress, so their saved games won't be deleted. You don't lose what you built in the game or your engagement with the game, so it's about feeling comfortable with not owning your game, he said. Ubisoft still expects physical game sales to be a major part of the industry for the foreseeable future, and Ubisoft's overall goal is to allow its users to have instant access to any of their games, similarly to how streaming subscriptions like Netflix or Max work, when those services aren't dumping their original TV series or movies, that is. Ubisoft Plus is now available on PC, Xbox, and Luna, and its big selling points include day one access to new games, early access for select titles like Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and a library of dozens of Ubisoft's biggest hits. Those features will be available as part of the premium subscription package, $18 per month, while Ubisoft Plus Classics on PC offers access to a curated selection of the company's back catalog and live games. Um, I do. He's kind of. I have to say the what is this guy's position? Tremblay. Um, let's see. Director of subscriptions, Philip Tremblay. It sounds like he tried to word this the best way possible so people wouldn't be upset with him.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna read a couple comments and then you can say what you think. When Ives74 said, when games became so big they had to be run off a hard drive rather than directly from a disk, this became the inevitable outcome. Now, if some forward thinking publisher wanted to offer an olive branch in the form of making the games playable after they decided to stop supporting it, this would be a very different conversation. Live services would be shit out of luck, but single player games, and particularly games that offer a single player option but still currently require a server connection, Diablo, he spelled it Diablo, being allowed to run locally and offline without checking in to constantly verify digital rights when they take servers down would go a long way, but it won't happen. IX Gamer says time to boycott Ubisoft. What say you, chatters? Dushness goes, Nintendo is the real anti-consumer here. They destroyed VC, so you can't buy and own games. They force you to subscribe as the only way to play, which it's true, but kind of irrelevant in this situation. Um,
Yeah.
so, what do you think of this guy? Do you agree with what he said? Do you disagree? What's your take on this?
Well, Ubisoft is starting from anti-consumer now, in my opinion. It's to the point where it's like, it's they're trying to they got the hook, line, and sinker on most gamers now with their all digital services, like the live services and all. And now it's like you can't escape from it because you put so much effort, time, as well as money into those games, like Apex Legends, Fortnite, you name it. That's one example. And Ubisoft, obviously, it has its own games like Rayman Legends and what's it called? The uh, the Assassin's Creed all. That's my check. Is it Assassin's Creed they currently have relations with, or own them, or make games from? If I'm correctly.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You say that again?
I would say that Assassin's Creed that's in relation with Ubisoft, right?
Yeah,
The makers. Okay.
that's one of their biggest franchises.
Yeah. So after decades of Assassin's, not decade, well, that's been a decade
Yeah,
now.
decades.
Yeah, a decade of Assassin's Creed now. It's like now they got his hook, line, and sinker with microtransactions and stuff. So now they can say literally whatever they want to, and people just submit to it completely or almost completely at this rate. But it all depends on the consumers or current customers of at the time of Ubisoft because they're the ones who got determined if they want to own their games or that they don't just care or they just say fuck them and continue buying more digital services.
Yeah. Like I said, he tried to word this very carefully, not to piss off people. But it didn't really work. A lot of people did get pissed off.
Oh yeah.
Um, go on.
So you continue.
Okay. But the thing is, yeah, what he's saying is, people got comfortable not owning CDs, not owning music, and then not owning movies, and that's true. Most of my music was digital because I was acquiring it in a way that I shouldn't have been to begin with. Um, and lots of people are giving up their DVDs or don't, no one cares about DVDs or Blu-rays as much as they did like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, I don't
Oh.
belong to any subscription services. Like I said, I haven't belonged to Game Pass for almost a year now. Um, and honestly, like I said, this and the next story that we're going to cover is the reason I'm going back retro wise because yeah, you can. I mean, it's not just the game server shutting down. I mean, what if Ubisoft shuts down for whatever reason, even if it's like a temporary hack or something? Those people that
Yeah.
subscribe to that service and depend on that for their games are going to be out of luck. But I
Mm-hmm.
was looking through my loose games binder. I just want to read the names that I have. Um, I got Apocalypse for PlayStation, Fusion Frenzy 2 for Xbox 360, Wanted for PlayStation 3, Marvel Ultimate Alliance for Xbox, Super Mario All Stars for the Wii, Final Fantasy 12 for PS2, and Mad World for the Wii. These are all disc. These are games I could play anytime I want. Most of them I got um, not too long ago. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I think people, and honestly, I think this is the wrong time to push this. I think people they're starting to care more about physical media again because, yeah, it was all digital was fine as long as physical was always there for whoever wanted it. We're not talking about the option to buy games or pay for the subscription service. It's you can buy the game physically or you can buy the game digitally or you can pay for the service.
Have those three options available. Yeah.
And now that the physical option is disappearing, that's what people are caring about.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, yeah. So um, yeah, so and I think people are going to start caring about physical media again. That's if they haven't already.
Hopefully, it's not too little, too late for the matter because it's like 10 years into this digital gaming market. Easily 10 years, because it all started from telling them the 360 PS3 years because they started digitizing games since then. And all of a sudden, by Xbox One, PS4, that's when they're trying to make people buy more and more digital than ever before on all platforms, all gaming studios, all games all together. So it's kind of like, can you put the genie back into the bottle for doing that? Those all digital services.
Well, I don't think there's any hope for future. But like I said, there's always a reason. You can always go back to retro. Whether it's Amazon, eBay, price charting, or any other game. You can buy games from other sites from the past. You can always discover games you never got a chance to try and buy those instead and talk with your
Especially
wallet that
eBay,
way. That's what I'm doing.
especially eBay.com though, because eBay, you may not be able to find every single old game out there in the market, but you'll find just enough to get by, and that's perfect right there for those who are
Yeah, and
younger, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, eBay, Amazon, price charting, Bonanza's a website I use. They sell video games. They have people who sell video games besides me. Mercari, Facebook Marketplace. All these places you can go and buy old games. Like I said, just pull up a random game collection on eBay for a system that you own, and the games that you never played, check them out. Check out their score on Game FAQs. Pull up a video review on YouTube.
Mhm.
If you can't find a video review, you'll most likely find a let's play,
Mhm.
and then make your decision. And then, like I said, I'm happy with this. I'm starting to find games that like Valve. The Simpsons game and Lego Harry Potter is not exactly working out like the way I'd like, but Final Fantasy 12 I enjoyed what I played of it, the couple hours I played so far. Mad World I like, although it gets a little tiring on your arms after a while because it's
Yeah.
Wii motion controls. But like I said, I'm also finding more games that I never got to try. Just one, actually, I was searching because a couple games I ordered for Christmas never showed up. So I got the refund for those games. And I wanted to spend that money on something else because it was meant to be gift money. Um,
Mhm.
I discovered a Sega Genesis game called Quackshot, starring Donald Duck. It looks like a DuckTales on Sega Genesis.
Right.
It looks awesome. That's probably going to be one of my next purchases when I do have more disposable income. So, and it's like less than $20. So,
Mhm.
it's not that's not a game, but that's a game. It's not a game. It's not an expensive game, but it's a game I never played, and I love the first Ducktales so much. Ducktales 2, I probably can't afford. Although after the next article, um, that might change. Um, yeah, so I'm saying, I'm now more against subscription services just because I see the drawbacks, and it's like, ooh, this is no longer an option. You know, it's
Yeah.
before we had options, now we have option.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, the only option is just one option. And one choice, like my saying goes, one choice is not a choice, you know?
right.